All right, I'm here with Susie McCoppin, and wait, you could give my audience some of your credits because I didn't do the research. I'm sorry. A friend of a friend, Caitlin,
right,
said you would be perfect for my podcast talking about date because I did a podcast last week about dating sites and the goofy shit that goes on there, but I really need a woman's perspective.
Yeah, you really do.
So
we have been joined in perhaps what may prove to be the greatest creative coalescence since Cheech and Chong.
So wait, you have? I know you write a column every week about dating and all that stuff. What do you? Where is it?
That's true. Okay, so it's on popdust.com. Every Friday, I do a dating column wherein I go undercover on a different dating site every week. And I've done all the classics like Tinder, Match, OkCupid, all of those. And then I've gotten more specific. Like a few weeks ago, I did singles with food allergies. And then last week, I did beautifulpeople.com. This week, I did the Ugly Bug Ball, which is for ugly folks.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so now which is the best site, would you say, for someone to hook up if they're just looking for sex?
I'm going to say Tinder because that seems to be the global understanding of what Tinder is, as it was born out of Grindr, an app for gay men seeking to only have butt love.
Right, but I feel like Tinder is turned into more of like a regular dating site.
It's sort of like because since women have commandeered it and
Yes.
sort of like they're trying to take it to a kinder, gentler place. But still, I think the foundation is there. I think guys are trying, it's got a little bit of there's a civil war going on with Tinder, if you will.
Do you think that it works for maybe guys, like people in their 20s that are looking for a hookup instead of like 30s or early 40s? Is it tougher for someone to hook up with that age? It seems like a 23-year-old girl is going to go meet some 23-year-old guy at a 7-Eleven and they're going to go fuck.
I'm sure that has been known to happen. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. Actually, no, that was Digital Underground.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that a Tinder date?
No, don't
I was
remember.
going to say, wow, if you can get a chick to meet at a Burger King, you're low maintenance.
Don't you remember that song from the 80s? I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Humpty,
Oh, right.
the
Yeah, the
Humpty
Humpty
dance.
dance.
It's your chance to do the hump.
So you didn't really get banged in a Burger King bathroom?
No, but the guy from the Digital Underground did, which is good because he's skinny, and it never stopped him from getting busy.
Would you bang a guy in maybe a Quiznos bathroom?
Hell yeah, those subs are so good. That bread is so fresh.
I love it when it goes through the toaster and you can watch it come out the other
You know
side.
that shit is legit.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, it blows away Subway.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, I like it. All right, so look, I made fun of women on Tinder and these dating sites. A lot of guys sending shit in, but I'm sure the guys are making a lot of mistakes on there. And there's a bunch of guys that are douchebags on there. Like, what do you see on these dating sites where you're like a guy? Like, why would you do that?
You know what? Nothing comes to mind off the top of my head. The thing that I always find nauseating is when there is a page of just earnestness. When he's talking about what his cat's name is and what he really wants and all of his quirks and his favorite kind of sneakers and his favorite kind of all of the earnestness, I find really nauseating. I think the only way to approach that is just to be a complete smartass. Like on my OkCupid profile, I say I like to smoke crack, and then it's asked what my hobbies are. I'm like crack, coolies, freebasing,
Right.
And then it says on Friday night I'm thinking about where the body, and I wrote where the body is buried, and then said on Tuesday night I wrote I'm still Caucasian. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for. Don't take it too seriously. Look like a jackass.
Now, do you ever get responses from guys like, "Are you serious with this?" or any kind of weird responses back where they believe you?
Virtually every guy likes to play off what I lead with. So almost every answer is, "I know where the body's buried."
Okay,
Which is cute.
Right.
I don't like when they don't show their face.
You
Tinder,
know,
on Tinder, show your face.
yeah, no, I know. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's always the one where they might show.
Girls hate dick pics. Guys don't know this. Don't send us your dick pics. We don't like them.
Girls
Yeah,
don't
we
like
don't
dick-
like to see dick pics.
No.
Now, what if you're really into the guy? Like, maybe you're dating him and you're starting to have sex. You still don't like the dick pics?
We request one, but usually no.
You don't like them.
Yes, upon request.
So what? Like, what about like a guy with a shirt off, like posing with a shirt off? Is that a turn off for a girl? Like, you see that as his profile?
It depends.
picture?
It's got to be disguised as a very organic photo. Like, for example, my Instagram and Facebook are entirely comprised of pictures that make me look my best possible self. But what I've done here is disguise them. I make sure there's tons of people in the picture. I make sure we're doing something like fun that looks organic, and it just so happens to look like, wow, I look that good when I'm out with my friends or whatever, as opposed to just an unapologetic selfie, which makes you just look like a narcissistic asshole. So if your goal here is to show off your pecs, make sure there's other people in the picture. Make sure you're on a beach. Make sure that there's a reason for it.
But is there any reason, like, does that turn you on? Like, if you see a guy would just say he's on the beach, and you're like, all right, he obviously posted that picture, so he wants everyone to see him with his shirt off. Is that a turn off for you?
No, I think again, if it seems organic, then yeah, and I'm just happening to notice.
But you know that because you know that it's not organic because you're doing the same stuff. You're putting in a picture where
I'm assuming I'm smarter and more calculating than most people.
No, you are, but then you got to realize that guy's doing it to try to make it like it's organic, but you know it's not. You could see through his bullshit.
Yeah, what a loser. That guy's not getting laid.
So you don't like the guy that is in the CrossFit gym lifting a fucking tire over his head? Does that do anything for you?
You have his number?
No, but just go to any local CrossFit gym and you'll find that fucking guy.
Right.
So you don't like that? You don't like that? Why? What pictures of a guy turns you off? You're like, that's fucking stupid. And you won't even, contact him or try to, match with him.
That's
like,
a
what's
good
something
question.
on there?
Oh, you know what kills my boner instantly? A headshot is a total boner killer.
Yeah, I see a lot in L.A. the girls doing a headshot thing too. You could tell it's the headshot.
I wouldn't imagine from a male perspective that's quite as nauseating. What's your?
Model shots.
I'm not mad at a model. Not quite as mad as a model shot as long as it's an actual job as opposed to just like, from your Model Mayhem account. But you're right, it is kind of nauseating. But from a guy's perspective, how does that hit you if you see a girl's headshot on Tinder?
Well, then you got to really go look at the rest of the pictures because that's her best shot.
No, but that's not my point. My point is, for me, it's saying something about the guy's character. It's saying this guy is a doofus with his gay wad headshot, right?
Right.
So does it do that to you? Does it impugn her character, or are you just saying, oh, there's trickery involved here because there's lighting and blah blah blah? She probably doesn't look like that.
Yeah, they're definitely. But yeah, that's when you have to go. You're not just going to swipe right on that one. You're going to go, let me see what she really looks like.
You got to get to number 3.
Number 3 is the rule. Get to number 3. So what else besides a guy's headshot does someone post? What about if a guy posts a picture with his dog?
Instant boner. Love dogs.
But don't you think he's doing it because he wants to go, look, I like dogs too?
I mean, I like that. I like an unapologetic plug. That's all good. Yeah,
really?
I want him to be in on the joke. Like, I know this is going to be a pussy slaying move, but that's what I'm doing. I like that. You know what? I don't like kids in the picture.
Yeah, there's no reason to put your kids on a Tinder website.
There's no reason to have kids.
Well, if you have kids, you could just go, look, I got 2 kids, but you don't need to put them in pictures. You know what I mean? This is a site where guys are like, hoping to fuck you, and then you got pictures of your kids on the beach.
Yeah.
We get it. Just put in your little fucking thing you write up. Yeah, I got 2 kids, and I'm divorced. Whatever. I don't give a shit, but you don't need to show the pictures of them.
I concur.
But then the guys show pictures of their kids to show, like, oh, he's a single dad.
I'm a good dad, and yeah, totally.
See, I have a little Yorkie, and I would never take a picture with the dog.
See, I think you're remiss.
Nah, I can't do that. It's too.
You're telling you.
It's too pretentious. I can't do it.
Oh, because it's too obvi.
It is. It totally is.
Well, then I would make it set it up so it's like referential. So like you're in on the joke.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
We could shoot it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I know, like, usually a girl melts when you got, like, a little dog, absolutely, but it's just...
I like a big, silly, stupid dog, personally.
Yeah, well...
But anyway, we were having a conversation the other day because we were hanging out with my friend in Venice, and he has a dog who's like, it's like a gerbil, right? Mm-hmm. And we said that's a big dick dog because a guy with a small dick is not going to have that kind of a dog because it's just a pussy, sissy, chihuahua, furry little dog. And then I have another friend that has a yellow Mini Cooper, and I'm like, you must have a huge dick. And guess what he did?
Takes a secure guy to have a little dog.
Well, mine's 6 pounds.
Yeah.
Whip it out.
That's my dog. Yeah, and I don't have a big dick, so throw that theory out the window.
What kind of dick do you have, sir?
It's very mediocre.
Oh, like standard male issue.
Yeah, if I had to describe it, just mediocre.
Like it's mediocre, MEATY ochre.
Yeah, it's like if in comedy terms, like you have an MC that hosts a show, then you have a feature act, and then you have the headliner. My dick's always going to be the feature act. It's never going to
so
be the
bad.
headliner.
That's not so bad.
It's not going to be never going to be the headliner.
We're just talking about this in there. We don't like huge cocks. That's another fallacy.
Well, not huge, but you like, you would like to have a few more
Men
inches.
care more about dick size than we do. I like a small.
No, we don't care about inches. Because inches.
Inches hit your cervix.
Yeah, but the problem is when you break up with them or the relationship's over, then it gets back to, your ex-girlfriend said you had a small dick.
Okay,
You hate a small dick anyway, so that always comes back to haunt you. Really?
I like a small dick.
Beautiful.
And this is my experience with big dicks is they don't fully inflate, which is why I prefer a small dick. I'd rather have a small, hard dick than a big, squishy.
Right, you want like a soggy 6.
I don't want a soggy 6, exactly.
Yeah, he's got to thumb it in.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you need
in.
he's like
Yeah,
you got a
yeah.
shoehorn.
Yeah, shoehorn, thumb. Yeah, use the thumb and thumb it in. You know what I mean? Those,
I've never heard that.
you never heard? Oh, yeah, those are the
I've never heard it either, but I've experienced it.
yeah, it's those whiskey dick nights. You drank too much, and you got like a soggy 6, and you got to thumb it in.
Oh my god, we should teach him one back that he doesn't know.
Yeah, what is I don't know. What do we got?
I don't know.
A wide on, like a hard on.
So
It's a wide on.
what else? No, that's right. What else annoys you of guy shots on dating sites, or what they write in their profile besides that whole long?
Any kind of
All
blue
this-
steel, any kind of posy face, and anything that's taking dating seriously. Anything earnest. Earnest is such a boner killer for me. That's why I think everything should be smart ass.
On that, my first Tinder date was with a guy whose headshots. Come to think of it.
It was headshots, yeah.
And that tells you so much about the guy's character. He's a dork. That's what I think. He's a dork.
What about like a workout shot of him hiking or him fucking lifting weights? or
Hiking's
that shit?
okay. Lifting weights is a little douchey.
A little douchey.
Yeah.
What about if you noticed he took the picture himself and he posted it? Because I don't use that word because I'm a grown man.
I admire that.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
I
no,
admire
There's
that.
no reason for
There's
it.
absolutely no reason.
Yeah,
for it.
so I don't use that word. But what if he took one of those like in the mirror or anywhere and you
when
can
he
tell
took
that
one
he did?
of those.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of fucking silly. You know what I mean? That's kind of douchey.
You know what? I'll tell you, I don't think I'm mad at it because this guy is self-sufficient. And if it's a picture of him and the backstory, that implies that the backstory was like, hey, man, can you take my picture for Tinder, which is even a little bit gayer.
Yeah,
I don't mean gay in a homosexual way. I mean
right.
gay
No, but
in a
sometimes you need.
seventh grade way.
I don't know. To me, that means he has no friends and he's a douche. He can't get anyone to take the picture, and he's taking pictures of himself.
Yeah, but here you are, two men. One's taking the photograph of the other one for the sake of getting laid on a dating site, and he's probably telling him to adjust himself in a certain way, and it's just gayness.
It is, but I could see it's better than him taking it himself.
Tiebreaker, Leslie?
There's no reason for guys to be taking pictures of themselves because they're going to have to take – girls, I understand, you know what I mean, and they'll take 20 or 15 to get the right angle to post that one. But when a guy's doing that, there's some fucking mental issues. There is.
I cannot fathom a more nauseating notion. That's correct. You're right.
You know what I mean? Like just your friend go, hey, just take a couple pictures. I got to put them on a dating site. Whatever, I'll stand here. Take 10. We'll pick one. Okay, click, click, click.
Okay, that sounds kind of endearing.
Yeah, so I think that it works more like that instead of like a whole photo shoot and all that other shit.
Okay.
What about when a guy, all right, let's say a guy in his profile tries to kiss a woman's ass thinking this is what they're going to want. Like, I like to take walks on the beach and I like to travel and be in the outdoors, like everything women like.
I like cats.
Can you see through that where you're like, this guy's a douche, he's just writing that
Of
stuff.
course, yeah, definitely.
But a lot of women will fall for it.
Morons.
But do you think?
Women fall for flattery.
Yeah, but I mean, they can't see through that like this guy does. He'll walk on the beach with me one time in the beginning, but he's never going to want to do that again. He's never done it on his own. You know what I mean? He maybe did it once, one other time with an ex-girlfriend. So don't fucking say that you like it because you're bullshitting. Like, how can women not see through that?
I see right through it.
I've had guys who just email me and they say, you want to smash? Doesn't work. They have to say something nice first.
What is smash? Is it?
Oh, it's the new term for fucking, I believe.
Intercourse.
Yes.
Really? I didn't even hear that one.
Yeah,
You
I
want to
only
smash?
got no from her.
No foreplay or anything. Just, do you want to smash? So, and same thing. I'd like at least say I'm beautiful. Say something.
Can you say, I think you're beautiful. You want to smash? Will that work?
No.
No, a little more finesse.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about you say, I think you're beautiful, not email, and then wait 5 minutes and then say that?
Say it at dinner.
Say it at dinner. All right. So you need dinner first.
Yes, I do. I do. I don't know if you do.
I'd prefer it.
Yeah.
But I
We
mean,
like to
guys
hear
in
it
LA
first.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Guys in LA don't do it.
Guys anywhere don't do it.
I mean, I had no problem dating in Michigan or New York. Here, dating has been an absolute nightmare. It is the most savage dating climate in the world.
Why is that in Los Angeles?
Well,
Is it different?
My theory is because for every 30 beautiful women, there's one handsome man. And so for that reason, guys who are 4s get to treat women who are 9s like they're 3s. And there's just another one right around the corner.
That's
and
a
then
good
we
philosophy.
Have to lower our standards all the time. We're lowering our standards. At least I am.
Now, see, my philosophy from a guy's point in L.A. is if you don't drive a Mercedes, I have a Range Rover, an amazing job, live in an unbelievable place, it's tough for you to get laid.
I don't know any girl like that. I mean,
we
I'm
might be
sure
the
I.
only two who
No,
aren't.
Caitlin's not like that. Melissa's not like that.
Our small group of friends are the only girls you're ever going to come across who don't care about money or prestige. Like the last guy I dated was the bike rental guy who just gotten out of prison.
And I was dating a guy who lived out of his van at the time. And Melissa, our other friend, actually had a homeless boyfriend, and she would drop him off at a park bench at the end of the night. But that kid was hot.
Yeah. But
Really?
we must be the only circle of women that are like that.
But we also interface with enough women that we would know if that was the case. Like, that's not something that I
have
hear.
a lot of friends who will only date men with money and prestige.
Yeah.
Like who?
I can't say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like what kind of car they pull up in and where they went and all that other stuff. I mean, that always was the case. Maybe it's changed over the years, but that was always the case coming out here. Like you got in New York, it was always you could bang a 10 and live at home with your parents. They didn't care. Like if you were
You roll up in a taxi in New York, right?
starving artist or whatever, they use, look, I got no money, I can't even pay for lunch. They're like, okay, and you could fuck a 10, be a guy with no money. But you come out here, you have to have shit going. You have to have 2 TV shows, pick her up in a Mercedes and go to a nice restaurant, or you got no shot.
Don't you feel like that's changed as you've gotten older too? Because the older we get, the more women care about the prestige and the job and the television.
Yeah, it's true. But maybe it's changing out here where women don't care. They're just like, look,
I would think it would have shifted because women tend to be, women are self-sufficient now. I feel like that sort of fantasy was born out of the notion that men had to take care of us, and that's why it's attractive. So, but now that we don't, that really doesn't factor in. I've never thought about a man taking care of me. I don't never think of that as being an option. That's why it doesn't really appeal to me, and that's why it's confusing to me. I'm like, what? He's not going to give me any of his money. We go out a few times, like, what? Why is that a big deal?
No, it's true. It almost seems like the girls are acting like guys now. They're just like, hey,
How
man,
so?
just like, hey, whatever. I don't need, I don't need, just fucking feed me and fuck me. How's that? You know what I mean? I got my own career. I got my own shit going on. You don't need to take care of me. They're very independent now.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It's just,
Independent bitches only.
you think you're independent?
Yeah, I think so.
How many dates does it take for a guy to get in your pants, if you had to guess? Like, could there be a connection where it's first time, first date? Does it take 2? What is his moves? What would be a good guy's moves to get you in bed quick?
I used to always have to wait a month. It was always a month. Then I was in a 7-year relationship, and since then I've revised my rules significantly. But if a guy indicates any kind of normcore or conservatisom, he's not going to get laid. But if somebody really thinks out of the box and is like a weirdo, he might get laid.
No,
I don't know if I like the first date necessarily.
But do you feel like you might lose him if you make him wait a month? Like you like somebody, and you're like, oh man, I hope this guy doesn't move on to somebody else.
No,
'cause
I
he's
feel like that's how
frustrated.
you hang on to him.
Some guys might not have the patience. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you got to fuck him the first night, but some guys. So you won't even like give him a hand job or blow him before the first month.
Oh no. I mean, it's a progression.
Okay, so. But now you've lowered your standards a little. It's not the month.
Yeah, but it's not a standard thing.
Right.
It's just because that's a very misogynistic notion. The fact that the idea that women have to wait, and it's a notion that I have subscribed to, and now I resent that I subscribe to that. I think women should be able to enjoy their sexuality.
Yeah, I mean, look, I never held it. If I had sex with a woman on the first date, I never was like, oh, man, she must do this all the time. I think she's a good sport, and I like that even more. I do. I don't have a problem with it. It's like, look, this is what I felt in the moment, and I was feeling it, and so I never had a problem with that.
Oh, good. That's
So
interesting coming from Jersey with a Catholic upbringing that you would think like that.
Yeah, no, I always like that. Good for you.
Yeah,
you know what
right?
I mean? Like, why wait a month to find out? Get to know this person, go on all these dates, and then all of a sudden, a month in, you have sex. I'm like, God, this isn't going to work. You know what I mean? Whether he's not good in bed or kissing or whatever it is. So, like, what? You just wasted a month with this guy when you might have met somebody else or whatever. So, Get it away first.
All
Fuck.
right,
I like the way the gay guys are. They fuck first, and then they figure out if they like it. They like each other. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
it's a good
beautiful.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll lower your standards.
Maybe I'll become a gay man.
There you go.
I have the voice for it.
You think
Speaking
so?
of telemarketers always think I'm a gay guy on the phone.
Really?
Yeah. That's a character I could do.
Do you play off of it or no?
No, I don't.
All right, let me get back to the dating site. So, what is the best dating site for a guy to meet girls on? Like, how is OkCupid? I hear that's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's a good kind of compromise between what guys want and what girls want.
What's the worst one to be on where it's just like there's nothing happening? It's not, where if someone wants to hook up for a guy, like you saying Tinder's probably the best, is OkCupid second? What would you put the second site at to hook up with?
But maybe Bumble?
What's Bumble now?
That's a new one. It's an app on the phone, so it's the same concept, but the girl picks first, and then the girl has to initiate conversation. So that is the concept.
So a guy puts his picture on there,
Yeah.
and then if a girl likes him, then she has to get in touch with him. So you have no idea if the girl likes you or any of that shit until you get a
Right.
message from her.
Exactly.
And it could be somebody that he's not attracted to. He has no idea where it's coming from.
Right.
So then he doesn't have to answer it if he doesn't really dig her.
True.
Bumble. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one working out or no?
I can't get on it because my friend's boyfriend used my phone, and for some reason his picture is on my picture, is in my profile picture on Bumble, so that's not really doing anything for me.
What's another site that's good out there?
Plentyoffish.org, I think, is pretty solid.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Now, there's that where you can match with people, like with interests and stuff like that. Like, is that how that site works? Like, let's say you're into heavy metal. Like, a guy's like, I like heavy metal. Well, that,
There's a heavy metal site.
there is.
Yeah.
What's that site?
Metal Midgets or something like that.
That's my podcast.
Oh,
Metal
okay,
Midgets.
never mind. I've been drinking. No, but seriously, there is a site for heavy metal enthusiasts.
There is.
There's one for
course.
Farmers Only. Farmers Only has a TV commercial.
Yeah, I was on Farmers Only.
Farmers
And-
Only.
Yeah, and my screen name was Hoeing Ain't Easy, which is crazy.
Nice.
No one. How was that not taken? It's the most obvious name. I thought.
So yeah, well, because some people take this shit seriously.
That's my
so,
point.
Yeah.
That's so
what
gay.
did you go on a date with someone from Farmers?
Yeah.
And how was that?
Um.
Was it a guy like that was from the Midwest that lives out in LA?
No,
now?
he lived in California. There's farmland in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was a farmer.
He was a farmer. Yeah.
And you also did the fetish site one. She's done like a lot.
Yeah, I did clown passions for clown fetishists, and I've done a bunch of the, I did Craigslist casual encounters, and I did Christian Mingle,
Yeah. How was Christian Mingle?
Freak Nasty.
So you went on dates with guys that were on there?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
how
yeah.
was it? How was it different than the other?
Well, there was no anal
Really?
Right.
Why is that?
because he's Christian.
Keeps you virginal.
Yeah,
But what's the
exactly.
difference if it's? A lot of Christian girls were doing anal because they wanted to save themselves. So why would they have a problem
Oh, that's
with
true.
that?
You know what? I got to get the guy on the horn and pick his brain about it. I'll
So
get
wait,
back
he
to you.
didn't want to do anal. He only wanted
No,
vaginal.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. There was no vaginal, no anal.
No vaginal.
He was very just pristine and Catholic Christian.
So what did he do? Did he take it like a restaurant? Was it
Yeah,
all
we went to the
proper?
Olive Garden.
The Olive Garden. Wow,
Shit
big
was
spender.
proper.
Did he try to make a move on you at the end of the night?
Just a cheek kiss.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow. And then what happened after that? He wanted to see you again?
No. Never heard from him.
Because I feel like you have to prove that you're a Christian. You can't really
right. You
try to
can't-
grab a girl's tits in the car after you just took them to the Olive Garden because that's not a Christian thing to do.
Well, at least it's after the Olive Garden.
Did that turn you on? They took the Olive Garden?
Well, they do have the never-ending salad bowl, so yes.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. You're very low maintenance. You know what I mean? Yeah, because in New York or New Jersey, if it gets back to a girl, I met a guy on a dating site. He took me to Olive Garden on a first date. That's like, the guy would never hear the end of it.
New York might be harder.
I think so. I think it is because that would be a major crisis. He took me to Olive Garden on a first date. I'm like, well, maybe he had a fucking gift card.
She took a guy to a drive-through, which is
Yeah,
great,
that's jacked
right?
up.
When you love that girl.
That's my move. I do that.
You drive? I would definitely.
I love a drive-through because there's nothing more agonizing and excruciating than sitting across from a perfect stranger and waiting. You're at the mercy of the waiter, waiting for the food, and then struggling through the small talk. Well, where does your Aunt Sydney live now? Like just. So the beauty of the drive-through is you're ambulatory, right? You can get out anytime. You don't have to face each other, and there's food, and there's the radio, and you control the temperature. It's perfect.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that old school, kind of like, hey, you go to a drive-through, maybe you make out, you watch a little movie and shit like that. You're in a car. So, yeah, I could see that.
I have a question. Because this happened to me. I went on a date, and the guy was 20 years older than his picture. He had no idea that he didn't look the same. Does that happen to you? Because that's like, I wish there was some way to screen that. There is. Send a current picture with the newspaper from today, or make a peace sign and send me a picture so that the picture is not a 10-year-old picture. Because I got jacked.
No, I mean, that could be a problem. But, that's people do that all the time. They'll throw an old picture in. They don't even look like that anymore, and then they'll show up. So there should be a way to stop that somehow.
Yeah, like the hostage thing with the newspaper.
Because if the guy's lying about his age to begin with right off the bat, like what else is he going to be lying about?
A few years you can lie by. I think.
You shave off a few, why not? You just go, someone's on my Facebook page. It was linked up, and I don't know what happened. I can't change it. I don't know how to figure that shit out.
On beautifulpeople.com, they have parties under the guise of getting all of these beautiful people together, but the actual motivation there is that if they don't look like their pictures, they kick them out.
Really?
They kicked them off the site. Yeah, that's the whole point of the party.
So you went on Beautiful People?
Yeah.
And you went on a date?
Yeah.
Was the guy good looking? Was he beautiful?
His name was Phil, and he was good looking in like a very douchey way. He had like a tribal tat and spiky hair and like a spray tan. He was a douchebag. And his personality was fairly commensurate with his appearance, and therefore there was no anal again.
So tell the story about joining that site.
Okay, so joining the site, I upload a picture, and then over the next 48 hours, the members vote on your picture, and they show you a graph in real time of them voting. So the options are beautiful, okay, no, and absolutely not. And so for the first hour, everything was even. I was getting equal amounts, no, absolutely not. It was a devastating, agonizing experience. So about 24 hours in, now I'm getting voted beautiful. So now I'm like, okay, I got a maid in the shade. I check back in another 12 hours. Now I'm just getting okay. Anyway, long story short, I got voted in and went out with Phil.
And just a one date, and that was it?
Right.
And where did he take you? Do you remember? Like, you guys just meet at a bar?
I think we went to Fig and Olive.
Okay.
Which is fancy schmancy.
Did he try to make out with you at the end of the night?
Yeah.
And?
Yeah. I mean, there was like a one tongue swipe makeout.
Okay. Now, do you like that when a guy tries to make out with you? Is it weird if he just gives you a kiss on the cheek? Like you felt like there was some kind of connection there at the end of a date? Do you want him to? Do you walk away going, all right, he's not digging me? Like what's going through your head?
I mean, it's all different. It's case by case. I mean, sometimes I'm like, thank God. Thank God.
If you like the guy, you want the makeout.
You want the makeout?
Of course.
What if he's going a little further?
That's good. You want to see if there's chemistry right away because that's all that matters.
Right, but what if he starts going, trying to grab your tits?
He can grab my tits.
Okay. And what if he's like maybe slowly putting his hand down your stomach and stuff like that, and you're like, all right, he might be going down there. Then what do you do?
No, not on the first date.
Now, do you feel like he's too aggressive? You're like, well, I don't know. Like when you walk away from it at the end.
No, they should always try.
They should always try.
Yes.
Really? And then you don't take that personally, like this guy's went way too far.
Yeah, I'm ambivalent on that. I see what she's saying, but I don't know where I stand exactly.
So let's say the guy tries to put his hand down your pants. You go, no, and you just push his hand away.
Yeah, I just push it away. But I don't mind if they try. God bless them.
Really? I like the way you think. That's beautiful. Now, you might have a problem with it.
Because it might imply that he just is interested in me for that night.
Right.
Right? Or then I feel like, what did I do to indicate that I was easy or something, something like that. But I see what she's saying too, because you want to have the idea that you're so compelling to this person that they must plunge their hands down your pants.
Has there ever been a time where you grabbed like a guy's dick and he's like, whoa, whoa, and he pushes your hand away?
Absolutely not.
Never, ever.
Never, ever. So on the first date, like with a guy, like hey, if I want to grab his dick and do something with it, there's no way he's going to say no.
Never.
More than likely, he will be amenable.
And what if he did? He goes, oh, whoa, can we just...
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we just met,
I did have one guy that was really hesitant like he was going really, really slow, and he was like strange about the over the jeans grazing, and I kind of couldn't find it over the jeans grazing. I couldn't find the wiener, so he turned out to have an exceptionally small wiener, and he was shy because he was trying to make sure I was a girl who was going to be compassionate about it. I could tell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was this at my house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes what happened with that, it's not in the right position, the dick.
Oh no.
So, like, it's pushed down, and then even if he gets excited, it's still way down there. So if you're brushing against it, there's nothing there. So you kind of have to make that adjustment after you shut the door, after you put the girl in your car maybe, and you open the door for her and you shut it, you have to adjust it really quick to push it up. So just in case some shit goes down, that the helmet's up, and then they can feel it if you start getting excited.
Helmet
This
up.
this guy did. He had probably the smallest one I've ever seen, and I could just see in his eyes he was just seeing if I was a compassionate person and going to be kind.
Right.
Seriously. And then, like, I know, it was sad. And he was a nice guy.
How small was it?
It might have been a micro penis. It might have been a disorder.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you're thinking like 3 inches?
Smaller, maybe.
Smaller.
Yeah, it was extreme.
So you saw it. You actually saw it.
I fucked it.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
And did you at least have an orgasm from
No.
it?
I fucked it out of pity.
Well,
But it was under 9 strokes, which we don't count as a fuck.
don't count.
But
Yeah.
that's not. So he came that quick. He has a small dick, and he came that quick.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, man.
Wow.
But
Ooh,
we,
a mess.
we have a rule: if it's under 9 strokes, it was not sex.
Doesn't count, yeah.
Doesn't add to our numbers. It doesn't
Well,
count.
that means I never had sex before. Then. That's beautiful. All right, I'm still a virgin. That's good. I'm gonna put that on my Tinder site. Still a virgin. 9 strokes and under. Really? So that's the theory that like if it's 9 strokes and under.
It's not sex. What is it? Is it 7 strokes? Is it 9? It's
I
like
like 9.
7 to 9. That doesn't count as sex.
Kinda, yeah. I agree. So you have to revise your whole virginity story.
All right. Let me ask you something. Now, if a guy shows up, like let's say you're on a first or second date, there's chemistry there, you guys are gonna fuck, and what's the condom issue? How do you guys handle that? What if a guy already has a condom in his pants? Do you like, whoa, is that what you're expecting? Because some girls will overthink it and go, oh, so you just carry a condom around all the time. I've heard that before.
I have one in my purse right now.
Good for you.
Absolutely no condom freeze.
What's that?
No condom, no action.
What if a guy's like, look, I don't have anything. I trust you. I don't, like that kind of stuff.
Absolutely not.
Now, what if a guy has already you have a condom? You're like, yeah, he's got one in his pocket. Do you feel like, oh, he thought he was gonna fuck me on this first date or second date? That's kind of weird that he brought one with him. Do you overanalyze that situation?
No, I find him a responsible male adult.
I like the way you think, Susie.
Ditto.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't care if the guy is, yeah, I got one, no problem.
No, I like that. That means he uses condoms. I wouldn't necessarily think it was specifically for me. That I would appreciate that he uses condoms.
Yeah, good point.
But so you wouldn't have a problem with him having it on him, like, no, because I've had that before, and friends have had that before. The girls like, oh, so you you came on a date, okay, so you had him in your pocket, thinking you were hoping you'd get laid at the end of the night. Like, how am I involved in this? You wanted to wear a condom, I wanted to wear one. We have one. Do we really need to talk about this
Bitches.
right now?
I have a problem. If they try to screw me without a condom, they're out, because that means that they practice unsafe sex often with girls who will practice unsafe sex, which
Right.
makes them unsafe for me.
So what happens if you're in a situation you're both like, want to fuck, but neither of you have a condom?
One time I was in Marfa, Texas, and nobody had a condom. We knocked on every door at the hotel to ask all the people for
Really?
a condom, and you couldn't go buy one. You had to go to the next town to buy one, which was like 4 hours away. So no fucking happened to that cowboy.
No fucking happened to that cowboy. Yeah.
Wow. Now, how long you have to be with a guy where you won't use condoms anymore?
After we're dating steadily, I will do an HIV test and proceed accordingly.
Really?
Yes. So long as they were good with me without the condoms, about wearing condoms, then I know that they're safe out there.
Right.
And I'll do an
So
HIV
you'll make a guy get a test.
They're only $50 at Duane Reade or Quick.
That's not bad.
Worth it for condom-free sex.
I got nothing to say, but I thought I'd lean in anyway.
All right. All right. So all right. Let's wrap up here. So Tinder is the best site you think for hookups. If a guy just wants to, or a girl wants to go, hey, I just want to get laid, have a little fun. Tinder is the #1 site.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right. I stand by it.
Now, I want to ask you something. Now, you hear from different people. Like if a girl, you match with a girl, and what's your opening line? Are you supposed to be funny, kind of like, or are you supposed to go, hey, hi, Rachel, or whatever? Hi, Susie.
Yeah, make me laugh. That's always going to stand out.
What do you? But what's the opening line? Do you get bored with an opening line like "Hi"? Is that no good, or is that non-threatening, or is that boring for you?
Yeah, that's a little boring.
So you need it right off the bat. Just now, how when does a guy make a move like, "Hey, let's go meet for a drink"? When is it too soon? And when is it like, all right, this guy's...
I don't think it's ever too soon. Like, really, like, take it off Tinder. It's stupid. And then there's no reason to be texting. Like, just get a date. And I'm bad at this. I'll do it for, like, years. I've done texting for years with guys. She really shits or gets off their face.
All right, so let's just say we hook up on Tinder, all right? We match, and I send a picture. Maybe you're with your cat. I'm like, yeah, I like cats too. I killed 3 last week. Okay, so now what would you write back to that?
I might say dark. I like it. Or so, I'd probably something better than that because I'd have a minute to think about it.
All right, and I'll be like, wow, I didn't really kill a cat. I mean, I kind of like them, but I just figured.
Seems like there's a pussy joke in there.
Yeah, it was kind of like a pussy joke. Is that okay?
Lady killer or something to that effect.
Right.
Yeah.
And now can I go pretty much like, hey, so where do you live? Like, what would you write back? Where?
What's my address?
No, like just are you in the Los Angeles area? You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, hey, so I'm going to be at, I don't know, the bar next to the Improv on Melrose tonight. You want to meet for a drink? Does it happen that soon, or you got to wait a little bit?
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. That's good.
But is that too soon?
Not for me.
Not me either.
Not
That's a
you either.
confident man. Like it.
So right off the bat, don't even just, like, that's not too aggressive?
Maybe a little chit chat, and then like, why don't we meet in person? Why don't we bring this in the face?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Bring it in the face.
Bring it in the face.
Yeah.
You guys both like it in the face, huh?
Sure. Evidently. No, I've never had it in the face.
Really?
You have had it in the face.
Every time.
Now, why is that?
I don't have a witty retort.
No, you don't need to. I'm looking.
this is just interesting.
Yeah.
No, I just like to meet the person in the face.
No, we're talking.
I know we are, but I'm
Oh,
switching it back. I'm going back.
So, because this is funny, so I would never let a guy come in my face because for me, there's the only way to explain why guys like to do that is because it's disrespectful.
I disagree completely.
But I was talking to my friend Truman yesterday, and he said it had nothing to do with that. It's because if I'm finding a woman's face so beautiful and alluring and sexy, I want to come to it. I want to come on it.
And I say there is nothing humiliating about sex anyway. It's all good.
Well,
She finds it humiliating.
Tell the porn industry that. It's all predicated on humiliating women.
Not necessarily. Guys just like to see cum on their face, and girls like it. I like it.
Sometimes.
Slut.
This is the Christian interpretation.
Yeah, well, the Irish Catholic thing, she's not
And I'm
totally
Jewish.
letting go. Yeah, the Jewish one thing.
I have a friend who is a giant porn producer, and he says the whole thing for him is to humiliate the women as much as
But
possible.
that's him, because I know a lot of porn people who like to fuck.
Yeah, I mean, the Jewish women are not uptight about sex. I learned that over the years. You know, you think they like, oh, they're going to be weird. There was always that thing, that myth that Jewish women don't swallow. They just want jewelry, all that stuff. So you was like, oh, I don't want to be with a Jewish woman. She doesn't swallow. She's uptight. She's cranky, whatever. But then you realize it's the Catholic ones that are fucking uptight, and they got these issues, and they feel all guilty and stuff like that. And the Jewish women,
Was your wife Catholic?
Protestant kind of thing,
Same.
But I noticed when I was with Jewish girls, like, oh, they're not uptight. Like, no, like 14, my parents like, yeah, have sex. Try, hopefully you'll be a doctor. You have it, or whatever like that, and they didn't care. So that's why I could see where she has no problem.
Cool.
But if you're in the moment with somebody and everything's hot and heavy, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a degrading thing where a girl goes, come on my face. Or a guy's like, hey, can I come on your face? It's not, it's not.
Do you think it's degrading to women?
No, I don't think so. But there are some guys go, look, I'm going to come on her face because I fucking hate women. I might go a little like
absolutely.
that. But no.
I would argue that is the majority. That's the sentiment behind it, is what I would argue.
What do you say?
I don't know. When I've done it before, it wasn't because I was like, yeah, fuck this girl. I'm going to come on her face. I fucking hate women and it's degrading. It wasn't like that at all. I'm like, wow, she's fucking cool. She's going to let me do that. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm like, I'll take you to Olive Garden again. You get a second date to Olive Garden. All right, so Susie, give everyone where they can find your articles, all your stuff, your Twitter, your Instagram, and all that crap.
So Twitter is Kiss and Tell, and it's the letter N. Kiss and Tell book, actually. Instagram is the Suze is the one, the number one. And I'm on popdust.com. My dating column comes out every Friday.
So pretty much you go on these different dating sites, go on a date, and then report about them.
Correct.
That's cool. That sounds interesting. I definitely want to read that.
This week
stuff.
is the uglybugball.com for ugly folks.
So is there a meter on there where they have to vote to make sure you're ugly or no?
No. It was just, yeah. And there were surprisingly hot guys on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, I saw
8?
some babes.
7, 8s.
I saw plenty of babes.
They like ugly girls?
9s.
How are the girls? Are all the girls
Great
ugly?
question. I didn't look at the girls.
Oh, you didn't look at the
Yeah,
girls?
I didn't look at the girls. I got to look at the girls.
Did you get a lot of requests and inquiries about it from the ugly guys on there?
Oh yeah. Well, I put up an ugly picture.
Have you gone on the date yet?
No, not yet. No.
That should be good. I'm sorry, I didn't even get your name before. I know we met earlier.
I'm Leslie. I
Leslie,
have
do
no social presence.
No. Okay, well, Leslie's a good sport. She's Jewish. She's not uptight about that. She wears condoms, and she likes to load in her face. God bless America. You guys were awesome.